Sitting up here talking about rebirth. Rebirth of what? You know, this man, it's the same shit. It's the same. I don't know how you feel about it. It's the same old shit. Yeah, you can talk about rebirth. Ain't no rebirth. It's regurgitation, repeat, rewind, remake, recycle. Rebirth for me, no. Double Toasted's 11th year anniversary party is coming up. Join us for a full weekend of live music, shows, comedy, after parties, a movie screening, and more. Get your tickets by going to dtanniversary.eventbrite.com or use the QR code right there to take you to the site and get your tickets today. And I'm excited to be returning to Chicago, performing at the Lincoln Lodge for the first time for my own brand of sit-down comedy. Get your tickets now by going to doubletoastedchicago.com. And I'll see you soon. Jurassic World Rebirth. These dinosaurs are born again. They found Jesus.
They ain't going nowhere. Once you brought them back.
We'll be dead before they will.
Exactly.
We'll be extinct before they go anywhere. Oh, why are we going back to them islands now? Because you know that's what we're doing. Damn, dinosaurs came back over here for us and we still going over there messing with them. Why don't y'all leave these dinosaurs alone? Let them, man, when you mind your own business, why you messing with these people? But we just can't leave them dinosaurs alone. They came over here. We were messing with them so much, they just moved. They
took over.
Yeah, we had immigrants.
Yes, right.
Dinosaur immigrants come to America. And we didn't want them. But we still trying to colonize them because we can't stop going to those islands, man, and messing with them. Oh, what we doing this time? Well, this time we have the lovely Scarlett Johansson. She's Zora Bennett. And she's getting a team of experts together because they're going over there to not to find dinosaurs anymore, but turns out that who would have known, Martin? Just a good dose of dinosaur juice. Cures heart disease. We got to go there and get some dinosaur juice, some blood, some DNA. Because apparently, after all our research, that's what was missing. That's why we couldn't cure anything. No dinosaurs. Cancer's next. Forget them frogs. Dinosaurs cure cancer. So now they have to go to this, yes, people, another island where there's more dinosaurs. Dinosaurs have start to die out here in America. And a few other places, but them tropical places still good.
Yeah, that still works for them.
Yeah, and we just can't let them be. Turns out that there was a lab built over there where they were experimenting on dinosaurs.
But they really cannot let the dinosaurs be.
They can't.
It ain't enough just to be a dinosaur. You got to be a super dinosaur.
Yeah.
You got to be a mutant dinosaur.
Yeah.
You got to be an X-Man dinosaur.
You got to be a Marvel dinosaur. Leave these people alone. Dinosaurs, they over there ain't messing with nobody. We be still going to messing with them. And now we got to go over there and get this dinosaur juice to cure people. And, you know, of course, as usual, something goes wrong and dinosaurs break loose. They always breaking loose. They over there in their own environment, but always breaking loose from something. And now we running our asses off from them once again. Oh, people. Oh, so can we get this good dinosaur juice and escape with our lives? Well, you know, that's not going to be the case for everybody.
Right.
As Martin and I were talking about, we saw the trailer for this a while back. But hey, sounds like, but some people are saying, you know what? Sounds like they might finally be doing some things different right here. And they say rebirth, but come on, you know, they actually be reboot. You know, they're kicking things over again. Like we said, all that.
I guess I could see why using rebirth because it's sort of a reboot, but they still reference previous movies.
Oh, no, Martin. All that other bullshit back there? No, baby.
So it's still a sequel.
No, man. This is brand new.
It's not.
Martin, brand new, fresh dinosaurs for you, man.
It's not.
Yeah, it is, Martin.
It's not. It's
Martin,
just continuing the saga.
Brand new dinosaurs right out the oven, man. Oh. Come and get some of these fresh baked dinosaurs right here. Don't listen to this, man. These some new dinosaurs for y'all. That new Jurassic World. Oh, man, we got a grumpy dinosaur right here. Martin, you should stop. People don't listen to him. I'll be back to tell you the truth about this world.
Why do people keep calling me a dinosaur?
Oh, because you grumpy like a dinosaur. That's why. Don't listen to this, man. These dinosaurs are fresh. We're going to go ahead and watch this trailer for this new movie, Jurassic World Rebirth, and we'll be back to give you our reviews. Look, when you make that face,
yeah. Yeah. Especially if the person doesn't run away, they just stand there looking at you.
Yeah.
You're like, please, like, I'm sorry. I gotta watch this.
Yeah,
this is gonna be cool as shit. I feel bad for you, man, but this is gonna be awesome.
This movie right here is probably the most exciting thing that I have seen this summer as far as blockbusters go. Because I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, wondering if I'm gonna win that bet with Martin.
I know. I knew that's what you were.
Yeah, man. Martin and I had a bet. We bet a bottle of alcohol if this man, Mahershala Ali, was gonna die in this movie. And I was sitting up there. I said, "Man, this is the most riveting movie I've seen this summer."
I tell you what, I was doing the same thing. I was like somebody on the weekends who bet on a point spread. Like, come on, okay, all right. If this happens, then this.
Yeah, I bet that my man would live. Martin was so confident that he was going to die that we bet a bottle of alcohol. Now, we're not going to tell you that the results of that, maybe later. But boy, I was watching this the whole time. Don't let me down, man. Come on, Ali. I was rooting him like he was Muhammad Ali. Come on, Ali. Come on, run, Ali, run. Yeah, well, this was the most amazing thing I've seen, this summer, man. The rest of this movie can go to hell. The rest of this movie is whatever. Sitting up here talking about rebirth. Rebirth of what? This it's the same shit. It's the same. I don't know how you feel about it. It's the same old shit. Yeah, you can talk about rebirth. Ain't no rebirth. It's regurgitation, repeat, rewind, remake, recycle. Rebirth for me, no. Now this man might like it better than me, but I usually, I'm a kid that grew up with dinosaurs. I love it. I've been easy on some of these Jurassic Park movies. That's probably not even true either, man. I've gone pretty hard on some of these. But let me tell you something, man. I'm looking at this, and the studio played it real safe on this one right here. The studio played it so safe with this. They acted like a bitch. I ain't never seen a studio bitch out on a movie like they did with this, man. I mean, even the moment that they revealed the story, you could tell no real work went into the story. And they just need a reason to get them on that island. Because the story is like a setup for a video game. It's like when a video game just needs something to get you into the action. They just come up with a premise. And with this, when I say, look, I know we always compare stuff to video games. I know, but listen to me with this. So, this whole thing about them going to the island to get DNA from dinosaurs. So they got to get blood and DNA from the samples of different species of dinosaurs because the movie needs variety. So that means that, and in the beginning of the movie, they tell you, and it's just like a video game, y'all. They got my man that was in Wicked. He's the scientist.
Oh, that's okay.
The museum curator guy.
I was like, where did I know him from? Okay.
He tells you, we need a sample from land dinosaurs, air dinosaurs, and sea dinosaurs. Now that's a goal in a video game to just take you to these different levels.
Yeah.
And that's a video game, y'all.
Well, but that's basic fiction when somebody has to go on an epic journey.
Still, I've seen video games with more impact in their premises than this whole movie right here. It's a shame that they chose to do it with this movie. Just give you the same old, because, listen, the Jurassic World, Jurassic Park franchise has been on repeat for a long time, but they've entertained and introduced some interesting ideas throughout, and some of those things they've acted on. But the last movie started to seem to creep out of his comfort level. I mean, I ain't saying it's great at all. Like I said, I'm kind of harsh on some of these movies, but hey, all right, at least they're leaving the island and they're going to America. Might not even make sense, might be dumb, but hey, you tried, you did it. This one had the wildest idea out of all of them. And I think it was a great idea. So it set it up at the beginning of the movie. let's go to an island where scientists did experimentations making mutant dinosaurs. I mean, not even mutant before, but we talking about the, real freaks, the freakiest of the mutants out there. And the ones that are way too freaky for people, because they want to make mutant dinosaurs so people would be interested in dinosaurs again. Because at the beginning of the movie, they tell you, humans are so short attention span. We're like, okay, we seen it, dinosaur, cool.
Well, dinosaurs are exciting when they were rare and extinct.
Yeah.
But now they're abundant and they're everywhere and they're kind of getting in the way.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, enough with the dinosaurs.
Yeah, when
already.
you go in your backyard, you see a dinosaur digging through your trash like a raccoon. It's like, all right, now y'all just a pest.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool when y'all, when y'all first got here and y'all were over there. This is bullshit, gotta go.
Hey, come to the museum and see dinosaurs. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
I just look outside. It's play.
But the freakiest of the dinosaurs, the ones that were too crazy to look at, or the ones that were too wild. So they just let them loose to run free in the jungle.
Why not just euthanize them? The average cost of a created species is $72 million. What would you do?
What would I do with mutant dinosaurs from an accounting perspective?
But
now that's not what I said.
But I'm with my man. That's the corporate guy, the corporate guy that's just there for the money, not for the people, not for. And even though they say it's for the best of humans out there to cure diseases, they're just in it for the money. I wonder what's gonna happen to that guy. Well, the thing is that, hey, listen, freaky dinosaur mutants, a dinosaur freak show, running loose on the island, like the crazy people are running the asylum. That's great. Push that. That's what we want. But then the studio says, but that might push that money away too. That might be a little too crazy for people. So let's just make what we've seen before. Let's just make how about this? How about we make we got dinosaur brontosaurus. But how about this? You want freaky? We put a fin on his back. There you go. That's wild. That's crazy. Let's make some lizard monsters out there, but that look like any generic dinosaur that we've already seen. Hey, but let's put a fin on his back. That's crazy, right? That's wild. You feeling crazy now? You feeling wild? Is that enough for you? Cool. Now go back and do the same old shit we've been doing. And I can tell you scene by scene some of the craziest stuff. I can see you disagree with me.
I do.
Yeah, I did.
You're really fired up about this, and I didn't want them to make the mutations too crazy. I was been like, because I would have been rolling my eyes at that. It's like, boy, y'all just rolling the dice on these things, aren't you?
Yeah, that's where you and I disagree, because I was like, do something different. That's why I liked them off the island. Maybe it didn't make sense, but it's like, do something different. Let me tell you why I would prefer to see them do something like that instead of what they're doing here.
Okay.
So the movie opens up with this whole prologue saying what I just told you. People got used to dinosaurs. We don't care anymore. We moved on. This movie ain't helping. It's the same shit that you've seen over and over and over again. From generic things that we've seen in these movies. Dinosaurs chasing people, snapping at them at the last minute, barely missing them, or almost, catching them in a tight place where they can't reach you. Oh, why you, if you were just an inch closer, I'd get you. But the thing that really got to me with this is that, all right, y'all have done this with every movie where we've done the generic dinosaur type things. That's cool, whatever. But this movie goes back and just starts ripping off the original. The movie is so safe that it's just cannibalizing itself. This dinosaur is eating itself at this point. We got another scene where dinosaurs are chasing kids around a shelf where they go hide in tight places. That's the Velociraptor scene from The Kitchen in Jurassic Park. We've seen it done over and over again, but here it's like, wow, you really aren't that much different. Oh, let's go to another brontosaurus scene. And wow, if you see the movie, they really ripped off the first one. It was like, oh, they do another scene where, brontosaurus is where they're crying. Oh my God, they're so beautiful. Oh, but they got fins now in the back. You know,
And those long snake tails.
and they played this. They even play the same music. It's the same exact scene from the first one. Somebody said it was the same writer from the first one. So what? Don't repeat the first movie. Write a different movie. Another, you saw it, another T-Rex scene in here. Okay, there's a slight twist on that one. That one.
They're not allowed to use a T-Rex anymore.
I didn't say they're not allowed to do a T-Rex. No, don't put words in my mouth. That's not what I said.
I'm asking.
No, do something different with it. And they do something slightly different. I mean, I got all kinds of dinosaurs in here. I'm not saying you can't use it into anything. You can do anything you want to do. I'm just saying just write a more original movie. Do something just that we haven't seen before. I'm not even asking for anything revolutionary. I'm just saying just don't repeat, don't rip off from the same franchise. The T-Rex scene is actually pretty cool because this time, they swim. Okay, all right, cool. But, they did do something where they took the raft scene that was supposed to be in the original movie and so they have it, they put it in here. And, that's the first time we've seen that. And it's an interesting idea. Guess what? No fin on the T-Rex, though. The point where they could have used it because it's in the water.
Come on, man. You hate the fan on the other
No. I'm just telling you how I feel. No, you go ahead with that. I'm just telling you how I feel about it.
Okay.
I'm really not, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not, if you like it, I'm not arguing with you at all.
All right.
I'm telling you, I don't like this movie.
I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just trying to understand.
Don't understand. It's just, dude, you have your opinion. You don't have to understand me because if you disagree,
all right.
don't figure me out. Don't understand me. Have your opinion.
Okay. All right.
And I respect that.
All right.
I don't expect you to like buy into my opinion.
Okay. All right.
Because I'm not trying to convince anybody.
Okay. Okay.
This is all about our opinions right here.
Yeah.
If you like it, I'm not gonna say I love it, but I love your happiness.
You love that for me.
I love that for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
All
Yeah.
right.
No. I don't.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Not at all.
Okay.
Like I said, I've been going off on what I don't like about this. You can tell the people what you like about it.
Yeah. I mostly like this movie. I was very entertained. I even had some scares. The thing is, you and I come from, I guess, different perspectives on this movie in that you had things you were looking forward to and had hope for.
No, don't speak.
No. You're putting words in my mouth.
No,
I'm going by what you just said.
No, let me say I was not looking forward to anything.
Okay.
I saw the movie.
Yeah.
The movie opened where they gave me this premise, and I thought, wow, that's a good premise, and I don't think they followed through on it. That's all.
Okay.
I didn't go in expecting anything. If anything, I expected kind of what I got, except I feel like I got even less.
Oh, okay. Well, I expected much, much less. Once this got past the very stupid opening, which I was just like, okay, this is what we're doing. But I felt like, okay, this is set the tone. It set a B movie tone, and even going in, I was like, okay, this is like a monster movie. All right, I can get with that aesthetic. Even the music backed it up. But when it comes to expectations, not that you had some, but I had the lowest of low expectations because I have not liked a single sequel in this franchise. Mm-hmm. For me, this franchise has only gotten worse and worse and worse. Especially with that last movie, I was just like, I never need to see this ever again. And the idea that they were going to go here, it's like, oh yeah, reboot. But I was like, oh, there's no Chris Pratt here, and no analog to Chris Pratt, and we're doing something different. And we have characters like, okay, I can get behind everybody's motivation. They're a bit more real, and we have mercenaries who aren't assholes. And everybody here, it's like, okay, they got a reason for going. I accept that because that's the premise of the movie. And then it's not so much we're going in here and we're idiots. It's like, all right, situations happen to them where everybody's kind of stuck and they're just making the best of it. And I was like, all right, I can get behind this. Everybody's doing, they're following what they should be doing for the most part. Yeah, I was invested in everybody, and while might not be a great movie because it, like I said, it's mostly a B movie, except when, as you say, it's going back to the first movie. Yes, that scene with them marveling at the brontosauruses. It's like, it was great the very first time. Now it's just corny. Can we please stop doing that? because we know they aren't real. So enough of that already. I liked the score at times, but then also it was weird because you'd have some character moments where people were having serious discussions and the music was being real light and peppy. And I thought, this doesn't fit. But when we got to the action, it did. But other than that, the biggest thing that annoyed me was that these monsters are huge. I'm sorry, these dinosaurs are huge. And every time they sneak right past somebody who wouldn't see them or they'd be behind them. And I was like, man, I'm with y'all, but you're telling me nobody's peripheral vision or ears work? No whoosh of air that makes you go. And they got repetitive with the dinosaur coming up on somebody and them doing the wide-eyed slow turn. I was like, you have to do this every time. But that said, I was kind of into the adventure. I was like, you know what? It might be going back to what we had before, but this franchise has needed a reset. And I could be a bit of a traditionalist, but it was fun to come back into this way.
I like the characters in the beginning. I think that it would have been better if the characters had more, because you start out with some backstory with them. First of all, let me just say this too. One of the things I really don't like about this, when you get in here, you know immediately who's going to die. Some of these people might as well be wearing a shirt that says dead on there.
Well, all you got to do is look at their IMDb credits. Did I say right?
IMDb credits.
Yeah. And like, how many you got? Only 5? Oh, yeah, you gone. And you're like, oh, dude, I've never seen you before.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Yeah, no, they got one person in the on the boat. They don't say a word. They keep putting the camera on that person. They just looking at everybody else talk back and forth. And I said, you are adding nothing to this movie, except dinosaur food.
Right.
You ain't.
Right.
You were. I don't know why you were even here right now, except to feed these dinosaurs. They might as well just dangle you out and just throw you to them right now.
The one, recognizable actor who dies early is somebody I've seen die in everything.
Yes.
So I was like,
that kind of got me. I was like, damn, I thought you were gonna give him a little more time.
Yeah. I wish you had more time.
But it's real easy. You know the formula of these movies. This person's an asshole. Dead. This person did something stupid. Dead. Some do have an interesting start. Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali. They got some backstory in here. And I thought that was pretty cool. The family at the beginning, I kind of like them. The family that's in the movie, they have some good dialogue back and forth. They have fun personalities. I think they're funny. I think they're not annoying as they could be. However, with all that set up with these people, once the dinosaurs start chasing people, everyone becomes the same. It's just bodies running and yelling. That's all. At least for me, like I said.
Well, I ain't trying to argue with him. Just saying.
Tell me how you feel.
It's the basic formula of disaster movies. You get the setup, and then once the disaster comes in, everybody's just running around trying to survive, and you don't really go back to the personality stuff. Yeah,
I disagree with that. I think that's what makes you care about people. You set up good stories and you give them a reason to care for them throughout the whole movie. Now, as you say, if you're going in for a B movie level, okay, that's it. I like having characters to root for in a movie with a big budget like this. I like characters that I want to actually see live or get away or have some emotional investment in. I didn't have any emotional investment for these people, man. The person I liked the most actually was a self-admitted lazy waste of space. That boy Xavier. Xavier, I liked, man. But for some reason I rooted for Xavier because he's the funniest one. I think he probably had the most personality out of all of them. He was the most consistent. So I will tell you this. The little girl, for anybody who's complaining about the kids in this, the little girl in here, and I forgot her name, the little girl is not annoying. At least not her personality. She's probably more proactive than most of the kids in these movies. Mm-hmm. Her presence, on the other hand, is very annoying to me because this whole family is forced in here to me. and they're there to make money.
Really?
Yeah, I can tell you exactly why. Yeah, they put them in there for money-making reasons, particularly the girl. At least that's the way I see it. The way they did this, it should be a law against the level of exploitation they did on this girl right here. Because, listen, the movie, again, in my words, is so safe. It's, it's such a commercial money grab that it doubles down on the kid stuff. Maybe the girl's not annoying, but boy, they're trying to sell some stuff in here. They got this dinosaur in here called Dolores. The named and everything. Dolores is exactly what you think it is. A cute toy.
Yeah, it's the Baby Yoda principle.
Yeah, listen, I like cute things, y'all. I love cute things. I got my own Dolores right here. I have nothing against you presenting something cute in the movie, especially for something like this. I get it. It's a movie, take some fantasy liberties. But man, this creature is such an obvious creation to sell toys. I already got the toys out there. They knew that this is a demographic group that comes in and determines, what can we make that's going to sell a lot to the kids right here? Oh, let's make a Dolores toy. And boy, Dolores looked like, if you see Dolores, like she just came out of the Land Before Time. She's all yellow. She stands up on two legs in the movie with two legs, blinking her cute eyes. I thought she was going to actually walk up and talk. I thought she was going to say, hello, I love you.
Hey, that would have been that revolutionary mutant dinosaur you were asking for.
Not that. I don't want that.
See, you got to be careful.
I don't know. I never said that she had to talk and tap dance or anything like that. I didn't say that.
You implied it.
Yeah. The thing is, man, so she don't talk, but she's just as silly. I mean, she's a dog. She's Dino from the Flintstones. You know
what? With this Jurassic World franchise, I thought if they don't go this way, the way they went, the only other way to go would be the Flintstones.
Yeah, I mean, really, just make Jurassic World meets the Flintstones or Jurassic Park meets the Flintstones. Hey, Barn, we got guests. Hey, where'd you get the funny clothes? It's. And they like I said, they waste no time selling that toy, man. When she shows up, she immediately finds the kid. She goes up and they are automatically best friends. She ain't like, I don't know about this. My instincts on this island. I've never seen these humans before. No, she goes, when they lay down, she goes right up, nuzzles up with them. And everywhere they go on this island, she's there. She teleports. They leave her ass behind, get on a raft, and they go miles across this island. They get to an abandoned gas station. Guess who's just there with no explanation? That's right, Dolores.
Yeah, but she could have been following them the whole time, and she had a reason to follow them.
Yeah, hey, listen. If you want to fill in the blanks with that, that's fine. I just saw it different.
Okay.
I don't think it's good writing when because they obviously were way down. Hell, she should have been waiting there with a welcome sign. I will say, listen, there's some good things in here. Like I said, the dinosaur chase, the T-Rex chase is pretty cool. Even though they even did something silly with that T-Rex. That T-Rex does a magic trick. That T-Rex is laying there at one point. They lift a barrier or a curtain, and a second later they pull it down. Ta-da, he's gone. I was like, that big ass T-Rex is gone just like that?
Yeah, that's one of the things I was talking about through the whole movie. How these things, as big as they were, could move around, and people were just they were getting the drop on everybody. Or they're like, oh, wait, where'd it go? Oh, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
I was like, listen, these things are around. You would be on high alert, let alone every time something moves. What?
Yeah. I mean, look how huge this thing is. They actually have a moment. I'm serious. It's laying, not even standing up, it's laying there. They pull up something, a second later they pull it down like, huh? Where'd it go? It's like, come on, man. That's why I'm saying I don't think that they wrote things. I think things just happened because they had to just make it. They just had to get from point A to point B, like I always say. It's the dinosaurs are still a cool effect. I mean, yeah, depending on how you look at it, they're still, they're still CG. We've seen them all before. But some of the chases are still fun. There's still some thrilling things going on. There's a really cool scene with where they were climbing down a cliff top, trying to actually keep this vial of the dinosaur goo that they retrieved. And I thought that was directed pretty well. And also, like I said, the movie did a great job at teasing us with Mahershala Ali, boy. They did. And I really do have to give him credit for that, because at the last minute, I was like, wow, I know that man is over there praying just like I am that the outcome that we want will happen. But I think that the novelty is gone, man. Watching dinosaurs chase people, as cool as they might look, it's like I said, it's the same as probably watching a video game. And as I said, it's not only the first movie that they kind of rip off of. They kind of just rip off from the whole series. I mean, we've seen the dinosaurs that rise out of the water and snap at dangling humans.
Another dart. Okay.
I was like, you're the expert.
Yeah.
Wow.
Come on.
Some things like that are fun, but like I said, I think we've seen them in some of the other movies. I think that this movie for me, it's just a victim of its own cowardice. It's too much money invested, and the formula returns the investment. And I'll wrap up in a minute. Go ahead.
You okay?
No, I'm fine. I just don't want to, like I said, keep harping on the film. I don't think it's. I would tell you this. I don't think it's terrible. Like I said, it's just a very big disappointment for me. And and I'll conclude in a little bit, but you can go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. For me, it was the opposite of a disappointment. My disappointment came from the last 3 films, where they weren't just getting dumber. They had become annoying and useless, especially by the time we got to the last Jurassic World movie, where they brought back all the old characters and then everybody's the main character. And that's cowardice, where nobody can die. And they're all putting their hand out like this. And it's like, when everybody's doing that, it makes you go back to the first time he did it and rewatch it. And now that's silly. And here they refrain from doing any of that. You get your big mutant dinosaur at the end. I was behind everybody's motivation. That doesn't always happen. Usually a lot of things like this has to happen and this has to happen, even if it doesn't make sense. And here is like, okay, I get that. I'm down with the formula, and some things you have to do to propel it. It does pull from the other movies, but that was sort of where it was. Matter of fact, while I didn't like the opening is very B movie, but the premise that, okay, everybody's over dinosaurs and starting to die off. I was like, this is somebody who's saying, okay, that thing we wrote ourselves into a corner with that, having them everywhere. And since we're not going to really explore it, let's get rid of it, because it's kind of dumb. And that was refreshing. It's like, yeah, we might be returning to the island, but this actually makes sense that they would be here as opposed to all over the world, where they don't really deal with it. They just kind of mention it in news articles and all. So, but this was just a good old fashioned dinosaur chase and adventure. With, they set up some characters to where I was behind everybody, and I was invested in how they came out. And while most of the deaths were predictable, not all, and it was still a sense of danger throughout the whole thing. I mean, as far as picking apart the logic of it, it's like, if you really look at these, can't you do that with everything? But I don't know. For me, it worked a whole lot more than it didn't.
What would you give it?
I would give it a matinee.
I might have been a little easier if this wasn't, and it's not me with expectations. This is where they touted this up to be a reboot, to kind of start over and take this in a different direction. And it doesn't go in any different direction at all. It's probably one of the weakest ones in the franchise, I think, for me. I nothing will change, with these movies, as long as they just keep making money, and that's until we just kind of let this dinosaur go and die, man. I would, as a friend of mine told me today, I would take this out back and shoot it twice in the head. And that sounds crazy, because it sounds like I hate it, but I don't. I don't hate it. I just thought they could have done a lot more. It's the definition of just studio laziness and cash grabbing. So yeah, this would just be a rental for me. Watching this on your TV, it's at home, it's cool, but no different from probably watching somebody playing a video game if I was to get my honest opinion on this. So yeah, but who knows? You got two opinions right there. One person, which is cool, one person who likes it. And we'll see how people react. But like I said, I can definitely see people who just want to go see just a creature feature, as you say. Yeah, it wouldn't be disappointing for them.
I think it is successful at doing that. I want to ask you something. It's going to sound like a challenging question, and it's not. What would you like for it to do? Like, what would be the Jurassic World movie you would like to see?
Well, again, it's something where they, I don't know what I would like sometimes if they haven't written it. I know what I can just tell you what I don't want.
No, I know what you don't want.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really tell you. That's why as an audience, we wait for the writers to give us something. That's why I say I can only say that I don't want to see all this recycled stuff. I like to see some new ideas. Yeah. That's why when they, if you want to know, like we said earlier, is an idea that you don't like, but I like the idea of giving you a combination of some of the old-fashioned dinosaurs that we've had, like the T-Rex. Everybody loves a T-Rex. Yeah, you got a T-Rex in there. And then giving us more, if they're going to present this premise of these mutant creatures that they've been experimenting on, yeah, give us a mad scientist feel, or they've been making like weird creatures. None of these creatures were weird, like they said. The only one that was probably weird was the last one. It was just a T-Rex with a damn big bubble head. It
was Godzilla.
Yeah, it looked kind of like the Godzilla from the Roland Emmerich movie. But yeah, I think you could satisfy a lot of people by giving us like really inspired, crazy, wild designs, and then keep some of the classics in there too, so you're just not pushing everybody away. And then I'm sorry, but you can do better than being so obvious with giving us this cute dinosaur right here. That's one of the things I hated in the movie, and I'm usually not as harsh in these kind of things. I like cute stuff. It takes me back to my days of liking Spielberg as a kid. Yeah. But I mean, that was so obvious. Don't be so blatant with it. Try to at least look like you're writing something that is a movie and not just a piece of merchandise. That's when I really thought like, all right, man, when that came in. They had these things where they gave you little glimpses of these ideas in these some of these other movies, but never really explored them. Like people were using dinosaurs as guard dogs, and, and drug dealers and cartels are using them as hunting packs and stuff. And this idea of presenting the dinosaurs on the mainland, I really think we had a lot more to explore with that.
Oh, absolutely. But they had two movies and they never really did it.
That's what I'm saying. They never did it. Yeah, that's why I think those movies are a disappointment too.
Yeah, because I was just like, man, okay, this is interesting what you talked about, like ending that one movie where they're everywhere. And then we get to the next movie. It's like, boy, they sure are everywhere. But these locusts, though, and you're like, God damn it. What happened to the great thing that you talked about before? And it was like, you're just never going to go through with any of this.
No. I mean, when they think about what they keep doing in every movie. They keep finding ways to force a kid in. And it's the same thing all the time. They keep ended up where dinosaurs are broke free. We're running in something. It's just frustrating for me because this is such an amazing idea. And Universal has been scared to even go a little bit away from it. And even when they presented a different scenario, a different idea, they found a way to wrap it up in that same formula. Yeah. So that's why I really am disappointed with this. Because like I said, this was their chance to really do something kind of different and do something kind of new. And instead they buckled down to not only repeat the same thing, but double down on it to even make more money with a blatant mascot. So you understand? I'm not because like I said, I'm not hating on people like it. Yeah. People like it. That's cool. You got what you want out of it. Like I said, I can only speak for myself.
No, of course.
Well, let me ask you this: would you not want to see anything new here?
I guess I don't look to this franchise to do something new. because even, you know, I mean, once it, like you take the first Jurassic Park,
Mhm.
you know, it's all about the science and the wonder until it's about the chase.
Yeah.
And then all the rest of it is chase. And then that kind of set the tone for everything else. So would I like something new? Absolutely. But I don't expect it.
Yeah. And you know what? I really don't either.
I mean, honestly, I was pleasantly surprised to get thrills out of it because I'd given up on that.
I guess I look at, because I don't think it's that hard to do. I look at what they did with the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it isn't hard to do, but like I said, they just rush these things now to make money. Throughout that movie, Dr. Grant, Malcolm, even the kids, and you know, everybody, they make sure to like stop and let them have some human character moments. You know, and they do it here a little bit with the family.
Yeah.
But they make sure that you stay invested in those characters. And, you know, a lot of these movies now just feel rushed. You know, once we get to the chase, it's like, all right, we got to get to the set pieces.
Well, you think some of that might be because basically we have two teams and we have to go back and forth between the two rather than having them all together.
So that's a good point. Martin is talking about in the movie, there are two teams of characters that we follow. We follow the mercenaries, and then we follow the family. Actually, I thought that was a good way to not make the family annoying.
Yeah, I thought so too.
They actually and I will say this: as much as I'm talking about they're not characters, I still think they're not strong. But I thought that the family did have a lot of personality.
Yeah, and they set up a good dynamic with them.
Yeah,
and I know me personally, I was just so empathetic with the dad. I was like, God damn it.
Well, your future son-in-law ain't no Xavier in this movie, but they got a kid in here. The moment they introduce him, the dad is asking him, come out here and just do some work, something simple. Sit on your ass and pull watch. And he's like, man, I'm tired. He just woke up.
Mm-mm.
I was like, yeah, I don't see your son-in-law being like that. And if he is, call me over to beat his ass.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry, I'll do it for you.
We'll give him the Reggie treatment.
Yeah. Or would you look at that? You made it to the end of the video. That means you really like us. So just go ahead and press that like button and subscribe while you're at it. And check out our other channels, our social media like Instagram, TikTok, and our Patreon where we have new stuff coming up all the time. And we'll see you on the next video.